from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Hello and welcome to the National News. We are coming to you live from the National News Studio of Rupavahini. I'm Dulanjali Ananda. Joining me is Charita Minipurarachi. And these are the top stories which have made headlines tonight. The strike of the private tank owners has ended. A special operation to maintain fuel distribution process with a sense of transparency. The Committee on the Formation of an All-Party Government meets the President. Sarath Fonseca says 113 signatures could not be obtained yet for the no-confidence motion. An 18-hour power cut in Pakistan. India also takes steps to discontinue power. The high speed that brought death. Strong winds in the sea areas of the northern and eastern coasts. Evacuation of civilians from Mariupol city in Ukraine remains in an extremely dire status in the face of Russian attacks. Now for those and other stories in detail on your top story. Steps have been taken to end the work stoppage commenced by the Private Tank Owners Association yesterday based on several demands.
And the co-secretary of the Private Tank Owners Association, D.V. Shantasilva, says that a decision has been taken to call off the strike following an agreement with the relevant parties to increase transport charge by 30%. Co-secretary of the Private Tank Owners Association, D.V. Shantasilva, said that they have requested for a 40% increase of the charges. However, an agreement has been reached on a 30% increase. He further said that a request has been made from the strikers to make some commitment by taking into consideration of the grave financial situation in the country. The co-secretary added that they were unable to disregard the request. D.V. Shantasilva also said that the authorities have promised to give an assurance in writing tomorrow regarding updating their transport charges according to the price formula in another 2 months' time. He added that the time corporation has enough fuel stocks and the full shortages will be resolved within the next couple of days. Minister Kanchana Wijesekara says the country has enough fuel stocks until receipt of further oil shipments. He reiterates that measures are underway for a continuous supply of service to the general public. Adequate quantities of auto diesel, super diesel, octane 92 petrol, kerosene oil and aircraft fuel exist. A ship carrying octane 92 and 95 and crude oil is anchored in the sea beyond the island's maritime boundary. Unloading of diesel from a ship commenced last Friday is continuing. The Ceylon Electricity Board has been provided with necessary fuel stocks for daily and vehicle operations. The minister adds that it would be possible to supply fuel without a shortage later on. It has also been pointed out that obstructions have been caused on banking activities in the past few days due to the government holidays. Banking services is scheduled to resume as usual day after tomorrow.
මේ ආයතනයේ තියෙන ටැංකිය රත බෞසර් ප්‍රමාණය වැඩි දියුණු කර ගැනීම සඳහා කටයුතු කරන්න කියලා. ඒ නිසා අපි ඒ සඳහා අවධානය යොමු වෙලා තියෙනවා.
Minister Kanchana Wijesekara said that at present only 20% of fuel is being transported by trains. Efforts are underway to increase the train transport to 50 or 60%. The minister further said that the government has made investments in this regard during the past 2 years. He added that construction of new railway tracks at the Kolonava terminal at a cost of 20 billion rupees and other measures to increase fuel capacities has taken place. The Minister of Transport is extending fullest support in this program. The minister also said that trade unions in this institution have continuously requested to upgrade the containers of tanks. Only some filling stations have their own bowsers. He has requested filling stations in and out of not to come to Colombo to get fuel requirements but to contact regional depots for their supplies. Special operations are underway to maintain fuel distribution process in a state of transparency. Minister Kanchana Wijesekara said that they have given instructions today to all filling stations to provide them a report on the standards of fuel. Random tests are to be taken in this connection. There is no room to alter the qualities of fuel stocks upon reaching the storages. However, there have been complaints of mixing kerosene oil and diesel in order to receive undue profits. The minister has requested the relevant groups to inform of such activities to the ministry. The minister said that they are hoping to implement alternate methods to directly supply kerosene oil to low-income groups. He also said that the Ceylon Electricity Board has made a request to increase the electricity charges, but a decision in this regard has to be taken by the Public Utilities Commission. He also said that the aim is not to put some burden on the people's profit, but to reduce the generation cost. He has also stressed the need to speedily implement projects based on renewable sources of energy. The 3-hour and 20-minute power cut will have to be carried out of some more days, but they are engaged in strenuous efforts to supply the necessary fuel and burnt oil with the objective of minimizing the duration of power cuts. Meanwhile, our correspondent says that private buses are arriving at Kolonnawa terminal of the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation to receive fuel supplies. The Public Utilities Commission says that there will be no power cuts tomorrow in the view of the Ramazan day. A 3-hour and 20-minute power cut is scheduled to be implemented on the 4th of this month.
Now, a 5-member committee formed out of the representatives of 11 parties who left the government to prepare a program of establishing an all-party government has met the President this morning at the President's office in Fort. A committee was appointed at a recent meeting of leaders of 11 parties. Representatives of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna also took part in the discussion. Parliamentarian Nimasripala de Silva said that the meeting has dealt with the issue of the establishment of a government of common consensus. He added that the SLPP has expressed agreement on the facts contained in the document presented by them. Nimasripala de Silva also said that it is imperative to make a joint effort on the participation of all other political parties in Parliament other than their party and the SLPP in forming a government. He also said that, therefore, they have agreed to carry forward the talks.
And meanwhile, a clash has taken place between parliamentarian Sarath Fonseca and Harin Fernando at yesterday's May Day rally of the Samagi Janabalawege. Media have published numerous scenes of the confrontation. May Day rally of this JB was conducted at the Independence Square in Colombo. All activities pertaining to organising of the event, including the preparation of agenda, were carried out by the parliamentarian Harin Fernando. However, certain media has reported that the dispute has arisen as a result of removing the name of Sarath Fonseca from the list of speakers at the rally. Some of the media have reported that the clash has been an outcome of Sarath Fonseca requesting to address the rally. Prior to the opposition leader Sajid Premadasa, media has also reported that Sarath Fonseca, infuriated by the incident, has dragged the clothes of Harin Fernando. Opposition leader Sajid Premadasa and several MPs have mediated to defuse the tension. Harin Fernando, after addressing the gathering, has made a statement with emotion. MP Harin Fernando said that some villains like to show their might by dragging the clothes of others. He added that, however, they are not afraid of all hacks and they would not have come out of if they are afraid of such individuals. Sarath Fonseca were also accorded the opportunity to address the rally after the incident. MP Sarath Fonseca said that his adversary will have to remain in hiding the same way in shun the society in fear of the CID. However, he cannot remain hiding forever. Those who are acting against the interest of the society will have to remain in cages. Field Marshal Sarath Fonseca has expressed opinion to the media on yesterday's incident today. Meanwhile, opinions have also been expressed regarding the no-confidence motion scheduled to be brought to the Samagi Janabalawege. MP Sarath Fonseca also said that certain groups have ganged together to carry forward their name and images and they have no against such moves. He has also said that the persons they are referred to has acted in the most uncivilized manner, uttering obscene words. He has behaved normally. He could have responded in a dignified manner. He further said that they have no problem regarding Harin Fernando coming to Gampaha. He has questioned as to why he quit Badulla. Commenting on the no-confidence motion, Sarath Fonseca said that they have still not able to receive the required number of signatures. If their efforts become successful, they would be able to form a temporary government. He also said that none of them have taken a firm decision regarding the state of country even after winning a no-confidence motion.
අස්සන් ලැබුණත් මේකට මට පේන විදිහට දේශපාලන වශයෙන් අපි එක මතයකට ඇවිල්ලත් නැහැ. අපිට ඒගොල්ලොත් එක්ක එක මතයකට එන්නත් බෑ. විශ්වාස භංගය සාර්ථක වුණත් එතනින් එහාට යන පීවර ගැන කවුරුවත් මේ වෙනකොට හරියට ස්ථිරසාර විදිහට තීරණ අරගෙන නැහැ. මේ වෙනකොට ඇති වෙලා තියෙන තත්ත්වය ගැන මම නම් සෑහීමකටපත් වෙන්නේ නැහැ පුද්ගලිකවම. මේ වෙනකොටත් ඒ ව්‍යායාමයේ ඉන්න කට්ටිය එතනින් එහාට මොකද්ද කරන්න කියන එක ගැන තීරණ අරගෙන නැති හින්දා විශ්වාස භංගයක් ගෙනාවත් ඒකේ ලැබිය යුතු ප්‍රතිඵලය එතනින් එහාට ලැබෙයිද කියන එක ගැන මට තියෙන ප්‍රශ්නාර්ථ ලකුණක්.
Meanwhile, several media has also reported that parliamentarian Patali Champika Ranavika did not attend yesterday's SJB May Day rally. His absence has been of special significance as he was who has a function as leader of the 43rd Brigade of the March of the Samagi Chanabalavege, which commenced from Kandy on the 26th of last month. And meanwhile, Minister Prasanna Ranatunga says solutions could not be found to the economic problems of the country through agitations.
He points out that the protest would only lead to further deterioration of the economy. The minister has made a statement to the media regarding the present situation in the country. The minister has further reiterated that any program to change the government should have to be carried out according to the constitution. Engaging in agitations and violent acts demanding the president or the government headed by the prime minister to resign is not an appropriate solution to the problem. Minister Ranatunga also said that in order to overcome the economic crisis, the tourism industry should be further strengthened. He further said that tourists would arrive in the country only if peace and security prevailed in the country.
And meanwhile, an acute energy crisis in Pakistan has worsened prolonged power outages in the country. Meanwhile, several states in India are reeling from frequent power outages due to the shortage of coal in their thermal power stations. Several parts of Pakistan witnessed extreme power cuts for long durations, disrupting daily life and businesses. While urban centres experienced load shedding, up to 6 to 10 hours, rural regions fell prey to power outages lasting approximately 18 hours a day. Shortages of fuel and gas accompanied by a drop in power generation by thermal power owing to the imbalance in demand and supply has led to the prevailing crisis. Reports have indicated that small business owners are struggling to continue workers in the face of soaring temperatures. Amid the scorching heat, India is facing an immense shortage of the coal. Most of the India's power consumption is coal-based. The key states facing the issue of coal shortages are Delhi, Punjab and Uttar Pradesh, among others. Peak power demand hit an all-time high last week, while coal stocks were critically low at 86 power plants. Power shortages is at a worst in more than 6 years, with 2 out of the 3 households in the country facing the power outages.
Now, the people's agitation in front of the Presidential Secretariat in Golface is being conducted for the 24th day today. Special feature has been that many groups arriving at the protest site last night after attending the May rallies. Central Committee member of the Janata Vimukti Peramuna, Vasanta Samarasinghe, and Propaganda Secretary of the Frontline Socialist Party, Dulanjali Nagamuwa, were present at the location to address the people.
මේ අරගලය ඓතිහාසිකයක් බවට පත් වෙන නිකන් නෙමෙයි මේ අරගලය අපේ රටේ ජාති ભેද නැති පක්ෂ ભેද නැති තරුණයන්ගේ සීල සොයන ජයග්‍රහය.
Central Committee member of the JVP, Vasanta Samarasinghe, said that the Golface struggle is a historic struggle as its youth participants are motivated towards victory disregarding all differences, including race and party. He added that they, as a trade union movement representing the working class of the country, have also entered on the path of victory of the agitation. Propaganda Secretary of the Frontline Socialist Party, Dulanjali Nagamuwa, said that they are now reaching the most intense stage of the struggle. He has called upon all those who are rejecting 225 MPs to organize themselves to capture power. He has also pointed out that this agitation could become a reality if they organize themselves on village and city levels. Our correspondents say large numbers of agitators have remained near the President's office and the Golface Green even after midnight yesterday. Numerous drama and musical specialties have also presented at the stage set up at the protest site. A somewhat restless situation has cropped up in front of the President's office this afternoon when a lorry of the police riot control unit entered the Golfes Road. Protesters have pointed out that the police officials came to launch an attack on them. However, amidst the protest of the agitators, the lorry was parked for a short duration at the Baladaksha Mawatha and later on turned back.
Meanwhile, a motorcyclist was killed in a road accident in Kanadulla in Kuliapitiya last evening. The motorcycle travelling towards Kuliapitiya from Madampe has clashed with the defence vehicle which has come in the opposite direction. A passenger in the defender vehicle has affirmed via a mobile phone how a vehicle was moving in an extraordinary speed just prior to the occurrence of the accident. This is how the video clip has recorded the collision. The motorcycle rider who was seriously injured in the incident has died when he was admitted to the Kuliapitiya hospital. The victim is a 39-year-old resident in Kanadulla, Kuliapitiya. Residents in the area have set fire and damaged the defender vehicle after the accident. The police media spokesman SSP Nihal Talduwa said the driver of the defender vehicle was arrested in connection with the accident and produced before the Kuliapitiya Magistrate Court today. The suspect was ordered to be released on 2 sureties of the bail rupees 200,000 each. Further hearings of the case has been proposed till the 23rd of this month. And meanwhile, 16 persons who were engaged in a commemoration on behalf of a gang called Ava have been arrested in Omante, Pulyankulama in Vavuniya yesterday.
A raid in this connection has been carried out by a group of Special Task Force officers in Pulyankulama based on information received. The group has identified their meeting as the first Vavuniya district commemoration. According to the reports, there were 40 persons at the location at the time of the raid, but most of them have fled. The police have also apprehended several banners with racist slogans at the scene. Suspects were brought before the Vavuniya Magistrate Courts today. A male and a female who had in their possession 8,200 milligrams of heroin were arrested at the rented house in Kahantota in Malabe yesterday. A raid was carried out based on a tip-off received by Kalutara Crime Division. It has also been reported that the couple were engaged in drug racketeering for a considerable period by staying in the house rented at a monthly charge of 35,000 rupees. A T-56 firearm and 30 live bullets were also found buried in the backyard pit of the house. The Kadwala police station has been successful in arresting 3 suspects engaged in robberies of gold necklaces, 3-wheelers and motorcycles. 4 gold chains and a 3-wheeler and 2 motorcycles believed to have been stolen by the gang were also found. The remaining suspects of the case have been arrested based on the information provided by 2 suspects arrested along with 6 grams of narcotics near a supermarket in Kadwala. The finally arrested suspect was identified as Shamil Nishanta or Tambaya, who was the main accomplice of deceased underworld gangster Urujua.
And the Department of Meteorology forecasts that wind speeds in the sea areas of the northern and eastern coastal areas would increase up to 60 kilometers per hour. As a result of the sea areas would turn rough and thunder showers could be expected. It is also anticipated that the prevailing rainy weather conditions in the western and southern provinces would also escalate. Wind speeds in the provinces of northern, north central, western and south may also increase up to 40 kilometers per hour. Intermittent showers or thunder showers may prevail in the western, Sambragamu, southern and central provinces. Certain locations in the western and southern provinces may receive heavy showers exceeding 100 millimeters. The Met Department's reports add that showers or thunder showers would also become visible in the Uva province and in the Batticaloa and Ampara districts, especially during the evenings.
And we have more news from home in brief. Health Minister Professor Channa Jayasimana has revoked the Gazette notification prohibiting the entrance to public places of those who have not been subjected to full vaccination with effect of April 30th of this year. Sitavaka River Bank Conservation Project has got underway from Dehi Ovita yesterday. The program has been named as the Kumbuk Shade, which relieves travelling travails. Under the program, 400 kumbuk plants are to be planted along the Sitavaka River. A walk has also been conducted yesterday to educate the masses in this connection. The project has been organised by the Wildlife Rangers Office in Dehi Ovita. Survey report on paddy harvest compiled by the Ministry of Agriculture in the North Central Province was unveiled recently. It was officially handed over to the Secondary Chief Sanganayaka of the Northern and Central Disava Venerable Mahaman Kadalava Sri Pieratna Thera. Officials of the North Central Province Agriculture Ministry have attended. One person has sustained minor injuries in a fire that has erupted in the liquor sales centre in Badula town this morning. It is believed that a fire has taken place due to an electricity leakage. Several bottles of alcohol were destroyed in the fire. That's all the local news we have. Stay tuned for international news coming up next. Welcome back. On foreign news, efforts to evacuate more civilians from the devastated Ukrainian port city of Mariupol were delayed today.
And hundreds of people remain stranded in the steelworkers of Azovstal, the last stronghold of the resistance of the Russian siege. The cause of the blockage was unclear, although city authorities said earlier that the Russian forces resumed shelling the factory yesterday after a bus convoy left. The plight of the civilians trapped in the Mariupol, which suffered weeks of shelling before Russian forces captured most of it, has become focus of the humanitarian concern as the war has dragged on for a third month. Thousands of people are thought to be half killed, and those still stuck in the beside Azovstal complex are provided shelter, lacked water, food and medicine. The Russian military has said that 126 people left Mariupol in safe convoys from the steel mills and other district force Trepan's-controlled Donetsk. The Russian army is now focused on crushing resistance in the southern and eastern Ukraine after failing to capture Kyiv in the first week of the war. One of the fronts, the towns in eastern Ukraine were under intense Russian bombardment, a regional governor said. A Russian rocket strike hit a main bridge crossing the Dnestr eatery just west of the port city of the Odessa in southwestern Ukraine, authorities said. The Russian military operation in Ukraine has forced more than 5 million people to flee the country.
The thousands of residents of northern New Mexico villages have evacuated as fierce winds drove the largest active United States wildfire towards their drought-parched mountain valley. Winds gusting over 40 meters per hour blew embers at 1.6 kilometers ahead of the blaze to start new fires as bulldozers carved fire breaks to protect the villages of Leggett, Mora and Cleveland, around 64 kilometers northeast of Santa Fe. They are among farming communities and an old west city in the path of Calf Canyon fire, the most destructive of a dozen southwest blazes that scientists say are more widespread and arriving earlier this year due to climate crisis. 32 kilometers to the south at the other end of 104,000-acre megafire, some residents of Las Vegas, New Mexico, were told to prepare for evacuation as winds drove the fire within 8 kilometers of homes near Eastern Highway.
Moving to Philippines from America, the Philippine officials have said that 8 people have died, including 6 children, after a fire tore through homes near the Philippines capital, Manila. The blaze, which started today, destroyed 80 homes. It started on the second floor of a house in a crowded settlement inside the sprawling campus of the University of the Philippines in Quezon City. The cause of the blaze is unknown. Senior fire officer Greg told foreign media that it took nearly 2 hours to extinguish the blaze. He further said that 6 of those who died were children, but no further details of their ages were released.
Now, a study has revealed that climate change may cause future pandemics. At least 15,000 new species-to-species viral transmissions could take place over the next 50 years as global warming drives wild animals to migrate towards human territory. Researchers warned that these animals could spread diseases like SARS, Ebola or Zika to humans, with Africa and Asia most at risk. The study published in the Nature journal predicts that a rise in global temperatures of even less than 2 degrees Celsius will shift the habitats of some wild animals closer to those of people, potentially introducing humans to tens of thousands of viruses currently restricted to the wild. The study rests on several assumptions. The world will continue getting hotter, the animals will migrate as predicted, and that the pathogens they carry will find a way to infect humans. Now, wildflowers from South and North Korea, symbolizing reconciliation and unification between the two Koreas, bloom in Germany. The Baekdulan mountain range stretches from the Mount Bigusan to Mount Jirisan behind a wire fence. Antitodera diosia, in a wildflower growing on Mountain Baekdulan, some 40 species of wildflowers from South and North Korea were planted on these structures representing Korean mountains. Now on sports news, the Lucknow Super Giants and the Chennai Super Kings victorious in IPL matches played in Mumbai and Pune respectively yesterday. The Lucknow beat the Delhi Capitals team by 7 wickets. The winning team has scored 195 runs for the loss of 3 wickets at the end of 20 overs. KL Rahul has scored 77 runs facing 51 balls, hitting 4 boundaries and 5 sixes. Shardul Thakur has bowled excellently to capture 3 wickets for 40 runs. The Delhi team in return was able to score only 189 runs for the loss of 7 wickets. Now, Ratnavali Girls School Gampaha won the one-day under-19 inter-school women's cricket tournament by beating Anula College Nugegoda in the finals. In the finals played at the Thurston College rounds today, Ratnavali team has scored 199 runs for the loss of 5 wickets at the end of 30 overs. The Anula College team was able to score only 133 runs for the loss of 9 wickets at the end of allotted 30 overs. In the match conducted at the third place of the tournament, Devapatiraj College in Ratgama beat Vadua Central. The annual cricket encounter between Royal College Colombo and Prince of Wales College Moratuwa has ended in a draw. Royalists have scored 198 runs in their first innings and Prince of Wales 135 runs. Match was ended when the Royal College team scoring 128 runs for the loss of 2 wickets in their second innings. Royal College Colombo won the annual basketball match against St. Thomas's College, Mount Lavinia. The final score was in favour of the Royal team 61-59. A. Andrew of St. Thomas's team was adjudged as the best defensive player. The most attacking player was Senu Ratnayaka of the Royal College and the best player was Bino Sundar of Royal College. The match was conducted for the 70th occasion. And that's all the news we have for tonight. Do join us tomorrow at 8:50 p.m. for the primetime news on Rupavahini. I'm Dulanjali together with Charita signing off for tonight. Good night.
Good night.